By now, you should have had a chance to work on this problem. So I want to work through it with you and see if you came up with the right answer. Remember, we're trying to find the slope and y-intercept. So we've got 2 points here. Using the rise over run technique, rise and run, I can see that I'm rising from 8, right, up to 15, right? You can see the 8 here across from this, and you can see the 15, all right? So 8 to 15 is a rise of what? Looks like 7. And our run, we have a run. It looks like we're going from 50 over to 100, and so that would be a run of 50. All right, so our rise over our run would be 7 over 50. All right, so our slope equals 7 over 50. And that's not a very nice number to work with, but lots of times in difficult problems, that's what they do. They give you interesting numbers to work with. So now we've got the slope. How can we find the y-intercept? Well, this one is actually fairly nice. We can see, based on this line, that we have a y-intercept of 2, right? The line crosses here. Now, I know this is working in millions, but for the purpose of this, we can just work with the number that's on the scale on the y-axis. So I know that my y-intercept is 2. Now, if I write that in the form of a slope-intercept equation, it would be y equals my slope, which is 7 over 50x, plus 2. And there we have the slope of our line. So then the question is, what can we expect? What can we expect a state that has 65,000 square miles, what can we expect the population of that state to be? So this is kind of difficult, but what you're going to do is you're going to take 65 and you're going to substitute it in the equation. So we have y equals 7 over 50 times 65 plus 2. So if I do that math, I end up with 9.1. Okay, so 7 over 50 times 65 is 9.1. And then if I take that 9.1 and add 2, I end up with 11. So we're predicting, or 11.1. So we're predicting that in a state with about 65,000 people, you're going to have somewhere around 11.1 million people. And so if we follow that line, we end up right about here, which is a little bit more than 10, a little bit less than 11.1, but it did give us a fairly good prediction of about how many people would be in a state that is 65,000 square miles in area. So once again, we did rise over run to find the slope. We found the y-intercept as 2. We were able to create an equation from that in the form of y equals mx plus b, and then use the equation to approximate or predict another value. I hope this was good in order to refresh your memory and remind you of how to use slope and y-intercept when you're given 2 points.